Okay. First, I want to welcome our new supervisor, Tom Trojansky. Thank you. Okay. I want to introduce our state representative, Donna Scheuren, the 147th Legislative District. Donna.
Hi, everybody.
Okay. Now we have Eagle Scout presentations.
Very nice to see everybody so interested in scouting. I really appreciate it. I'd like to thank the board for taking this time. We'll be direct, we'll be brief. Previous to tonight's meeting, we were given conditional approval to do some scouting improvements at the park. And I have with me Eagle Scout candidate Michael Frederick, Eagle Scout candidate Michael Downs, and Eagle Scout candidate Robbie Ramsey. And they'd like to, in 30 seconds or less, describe to you exactly what their projects are. Michael?
What I'm doing here is we got some trail markers going around Bob Whalen. We're going to do 5 kilometers to reach, this is mile 0 here. It's going to go all the way here. You go up here, round all the way around here, come all the way down, go right back here. So what we're going to build is some 2x4 posts about 4 feet tall. We got the eco-friendly paint we're going to put on it. We're going to screw in a piece of stainless steel metal with an arrow plus a number. So 0.5 miles and a mile. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Michael Downs. I have this wildlife box and bird boxes. I plan on doing 7 of these, which is the wildlife boxes, and 13 of the bird boxes. I'm going to be spreading them at Bob Whalen Park through the tree line, and then all around here, just around the park, pretty close to the trails Michael's doing. And we're going to have about 7 wildlife boxes. It's going to have sustainable straps, so it's not going to be any damage to the environment. Thank you very much.
Questions from the board?
What kind of birds do you want to try and scout?
So for the wildlife boxes, there'll be owls. I forget the one name, but it's like 3 main ones for the wildlife boxes. And then for the bird boxes, it's going to be bluebirds, stuff like that, just smaller birds.
Very nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Want to grab your posts? Thank you. Thank you very much. What's that?
We don't need that in the background.
Bid opening. Project all 3 South Road.
Okay, up to Frederick Township, it's in the engineer's report, but they are in the process of moving forward with a drainage swale and roadway improvement for Faust Road, a portion of Faust Road, and a portion of Sweisford Road in between Yost and the SPCA area. The road is badly coming apart, and so there's going to be repairs in those areas. The project was put out for bid. We had 6 bid packages picked up, and 5 bids were turned in, and now's the time and place to open the bids to see what kind of numbers we have here, and if it's acceptable for the supervisors to move it forward. So, at this time, the supervisors should have a copy of the bidders list in front of you, and I would I'll move forward with opening the bids this time. The first bid to be opened was received from Saxon Sons. Okay, the bid received by Saxon Sons was for the amount of $302,512.57. Again, the bid received by Saxon Sons was in the amount of $302,512.57. The next bid that was picked up was by Gorcon Inc. That bid was turned in, and I'll open their bid at this time. Okay, the bid received from Gorcon Inc. is in the amount of $363,000 even. Again, $363,000 even. Next bid that was picked up was by Construct Connect. They are a bidding service. No bid was received from Construct Connect. Next bid that was picked up from CMR Construction, and they turned in a bid Okay, the bid that was received from CMR Construction was in the amount of $593.20. Again, the bid received from CMR Construction was for the amount of $578,593.20. The next bid that was picked up by Wexcon Inc. And the bid amount submitted by Wexcon Inc. was for $613,075 even. Again, $613,075 even. The last bid that was picked up by Favor Inc. Favor Inc. submitted a proposal, and their proposal was in the amount of $389,422.70. Again, the bid received by Favor Inc. was in the amount of $389,422.70. So, at this point, I would ask the solicitor to review the two lowest bids, which are on the top, by Saxon Sons for $302,512.57, and Gorcon Inc. for $363,000 even, to check the bonds, notary work, things like that. We've received no other bids for the project. Solicitor will be taking a look at the bonds, and when we set proper time to look at it, and we comment as it's an agenda item later on the agenda. And that at that time, when it comes up, I've got a couple other questions to ask this supervisor. But at this point, we're done with the bid opening.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
All right, great, thank you. And while you're reviewing that, can I move on?
Please.
All right, public comment period. Go ahead, identify yourself and.
Jeff Zavada, 806 Township Line Road, Perk Yeomanville. I've lived in the township since 1970. I have an 80-acre farm that's in farm preservation, and nobody wants development, but it's coming. But I'm here because of things that have been said about a gentleman that's sitting at that table now, that every one of you should realize how blessed you are to have him even live in our township. His ambulance company, okay, that he works with, and his men and women that he works with, has saved many lives in this township. I know for one, my father, okay? He was there quick enough to get a helicopter in and get my father flown to Lehigh. So if it wasn't for him, my father would be dead right now. But the man has more character and has done more things. During COVID, he gave his garage, or whatever you want to call it, his buildings, to give out shots to people that couldn't get shots. He went out and picked up senior citizens in his ambulances and brought them to get shots. So, but just to give you an idea, I know everybody thinks he's gonna pull off this township and pull money from it. But if we didn't have him, we could have Gilbertsville right now, who's going broke. And you've got untrained people. And an average ambulance costs $220,000 without supplies. All his techs are certified, and most of them are either nurse practitioners, nurses, or PAs. So if something happens, they know what they're doing. They're not rushing to another hospital hoping to keep somebody alive. So the things that have been said about Tom are nowhere close. And like I said, he took this job. For those of us who, look, I'm on school board. I think this is probably a job right above mine for frustration. Okay, it's not fun. There's major decisions made. But if you look, the way this township has grown, the amount of basically prime land that's been certified and kept in preservation, you know, we've got this housing project going. And I'm going to leave it at this. Right now, if you haven't been following the news, Biden wants to add what they call affordable housing. And he's going to require municipalities and townships and cities and boroughs to put them up and force them. And if you know what affordable housing is, it's low income, it's subsidy, you're going to have more crime, you're going to have more drugs, and then instead of having proper built houses and people that can help our school district as well as help the community.
Is that like a Section 8?
Yes, and it's coming. You know, they call it affordable housing, but they're requiring not so much the cities anymore. They're pushing them out here. So, and it's being pushed in our face and we can't stop it. So, Tom, thank you for your service.
Thank you. Other public comments?
I just had a quick question. So first I want to say congratulations to Tom on the position of supervisor. I wasn't able to attend the last meeting.
Just for the record, identify yourself.
Oh, sorry, Nicole, I'm on Suffolk Station Road. I was able to watch that recording that Mr. Nolan does and puts on YouTube, so I just had a quick question for you, Sean. You had said in your deliberations that you reached out to Abington. I was just curious what Abington has to do with our supervisor positions.
Well, if you recall, Les was seeking to be appointed to the board, and he
Okay.
previously served in Abington.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Sure. Other comments?
Ellen Garlish, 1519 Becker Road. So this question goes to Mr. Picardi. I've heard from other residents that live near the park, as I do, and also from some of our park guards, that
When you say the park, you mean Greenland?
Greenland Park, yeah. So there's been some word that they want to move some of the homeless people from Norristown out to the county park, put them up in the campground. The park guards have, put out there that they don't want any parts of this. I know I don't want any parts of this, but I just wanna know if you know, because apparently it's been said that the solicitors from the that surround the park, I guess New Hanover, Upper Frederick, Marlboro, maybe? I'm assuming, have had meetings with our county commissioners, and I just wanna know what you know.
I don't know a thing about what you're talking about. I don't know what your source of information is.
I'm just going by what the county employees have told me.
Anything about that, I've not been aware of any meetings, haven't attended any meetings. It doesn't sound like a particularly good idea to me.
No.
But, no, I don't know, your source of information again?
It's for the county the county employees that work at the park.
Yeah.
It's at the park
County-
rangers.
county.
And a few of the residents who have seen people who are sleeping in their cars at the park. I don't wanna profile anybody, I'm just saying that they've seen some shady things going down at the park, and of course, we know that we don't have police available, we have state police, so it could take a while. So if they have drug deals going on, which they've already witnessed
Right.
down there, I'm just, concerned resident who lives near the park. And I, just didn't know whether you knew anything about this or not. I know
Yeah, I
I
do
presented
not.
it to Tracy and she wasn't aware of it.
Thanks for mentioning it, I assume Tracy will look into it, I will if you want me to, but.
Yeah, I mean, if the
Yeah.
board wants me to,
I think we need to find out if what's going on with that.
so I'll look into it more.
Okay, thank you, Tracy.
So I heard that too.
Did you?
And what they said was they reached out to you, Mr. Picardi, and ran it by you, and you told them the current zoning would not permit that. We didn't have the water and sewer that would allow for something like that. And I can agree with what you said. He said about the park with the homeless already sleeping in there. They try to close up the parking area, but they just come in and cut the locks off in the states, tired of coming out for it. But they said they reached out directly to you, and that was your response.
Why don't you find out who said they reached out to me, because that's just not
Okay.
a fact.
Well, I don't sit at Ellen's dinner table, that's for sure, and, that's two of us that heard the same thing. So maybe we just would rather be anonymous. like so many
No,
other folks.
no, I don't know anything about it. And you mentioned the other municipalities, those solicitors haven't reached out to me. I haven't heard a word about what you're saying.
Okay.
Excuse me, I'm sorry there's no seating in there, but I have also witnessed what they're talking about.
Do you want to come
So-
sit? Here, there's a chair here.
Thank you.
You want to give a name?
Can you identify yourself?
Robert Carl.
Ma'am, in the back, you have public comment.
Yes, sir, actually, my name is Meredith, I'm on Public Chalk Lane, Green Lane. I too am a resident close to the park, and have recently had a conversation with one of the rangers, and basically everything that these folks have stood up and said already is exactly what we're experiencing as a resident. And there's cars that just sit in the parking lot for hours on end with their cars running late at night. As the park ranger said, they're cutting locks. They don't have any intentions of securing that corner lot at this current time. They said that there's been reports of purses missing and stolen from vehicles, and if they even witness any kind of crime, there's nothing they can do about it. Bathrooms have been vandalized down at the park. They're stealing tires and things out of their county vehicles, which is coming out of our tax-paying dollars, to just replace because they don't apparently have enough county employees to even lock up some of these facilities at night, including the bathrooms. So it was also mentioned that the homeless was talked about, and they were gonna bring in 3 busloads from Norristown. Not quite sure, they got information somehow from Upper Frederick saying that it is against the zoning to some local residents, and that's the only thing that's preventing them from coming at this point. Had that not been in the zone, they'd probably be in our backyard already, so.
Can I just ask for clarification? So when you say they are talking about busing them in, do you mean the county commissioners? Or,
A group from Norristown that
Okay.
apparently has contacted the park that was really
okay.
trying
But
to
the,
get these
but the
people.
county is not supporting this, right? Because these people they're damaging county property, is what it sounds
I
like.
know that
Is
it was
right?
mentioned that, what are they gonna do when the park apparently opens up to the public again, you know, for public use. And their concern was trying to vacate these people back out, but they didn't seem to be too concerned about it. And when the question was raised, well, the community should have the right to know, this particular group from Norristown said, no, we think that the community would be in support of supporting the homeless. So, I would encourage maybe somebody to reach out to the county parks and supervisors, because they would be able to provide you with more information on who this group from Norristown is, but
Okay, all right.
I too have heard the same information that everyone else has heard too.
Okay, well, I'll reach out to the county and I'll reach out to our state rep.
I'm actually texting right now, so if you guys want to continue and I get some answers while the meeting continues, I will update you.
Okay, thank you.
When I get home, I'll get you the name of the group that's actually pushing it. And they said what stopped it
Yeah.
was, they wanted to bring in tents here. And the gentleman down there told him, there's just not the sewage or the water for that. And the lady says, he goes, I can't have people sleeping in tents. He says, he goes, there's no way. And the lady says, we're already past that issue, we just need to get the okay from the boards. She says, and she goes, we could actually bring in campers. And that's, you know, why he reached out to me, he's like, you guys gotta say something, you can't have that.
Just for the room, how long has this been going on?
This just started, I just got this maybe last week before last, I got a breeze of it, and then several people reached out to me and said, hey.
Well,
can
if
you
you can get
mention-"
the name of the organization, that would be helpful, because I suspect when Tracy contacts the county, they're gonna say they know nothing about it.
Right.
And
You
that's
see-
not much.
So this lady says she works with them, she's working hand in hand with somebody there,
Well, let's
so.
find
I
out
don't
who
know.
that is.
Oh, absolutely.
Sir, at the back.
Sean, Mike Petosa with Chuck Lane, also affected with the boundaries of our property, basically runs into the Greenland campground. Everything here, I pretty much verified that it is going on. And additionally, I had some feedback that this past November and or December is when this whole thing was initiated. And also, and obviously the solicitor would have to verify this, that they had made an informal, not a formal hearing, to the solicitor of Frederick Township, requesting or sending a trial balloon out to see what the reception would be to put this encampment in there. And the only response that I heard was given was that they were turned down once again because of this ordinance that had to do with back